I want to tell you about my useless goldfish. On Monday, my dad woke me up. Wake up, he shouts, your goldfish tastes absolutely horrible. I rushed over to the tank. It wasn't dead. It was just one of his tricks. On Tuesday, my dad woke me up. Wake up, you fool. He shouts, your goldfish swam the English Channel. I rushed over to the tank. It wasn't gone. It's just one of his tricks. But my dad, what's he doing? He's smiling all over his big face. I don't think it's very nice. On Wednesday, my dad woke me up. Look, wake up, he says dead quietly. Your goldfish is the new Prime Minister. There was an awful word, silence. And then suddenly, I remembered it's just one of his tricks. Oh, no, it isn't, I said. Look, it is, he said. Oh, come off it, you dirty liar. Look, it really is, he said. So I got up, and there was my goldfish on the telly. More people in Britain today are mad about giving houses to poor people. So I'm gonna burn down all the houses in Great Britain. Ha! So only rich guys can buy a new one. And I'm giving you all loads of fish and chips to eat. Yeah. It wasn't one of his tricks. And me, I'm standing there roaring, would you believe it, the little pig? Oh, he's gonna be in for big trouble. And there's my dad snorting away like mad. Not long after, a few days later, there was a man who turned up round our way, put notices all round the street saying that he was going to start burning our houses. Oh no! In a cheeky little voice I say, yeah, I bet you can't. So he said, okay, show time. And he took this jug full of oil out of his pocket. It was on the end of a string. And he starts swinging the jug thing round his head. But it wasn't any kind of jug thing. It was special. It had a little gadget inside the jug thing. So the oil flew out into the air, all over our houses. Oh no! And that's when he just had time to say, hard luck, whiny kid. Now watch me burn your home down. Before I said, but you can't. Why? Fair enough, and I'll tell you, it's because I think it's really cruel. And if you don't stop it, I'm going to stick a knife in your back, put you in my fridge, and leave it on the end of runway 4 at London Airport. Oh, it'll be absolutely horrifying for you, okay? Yeah? The man looked awful. And he said, that's murder. You fool. You cannot run around killing people. I had hoped that it wouldn't be necessary for me to tell my mum, but, and this is the nicest but in the world, I've got to do it. I've got to save my neighbourhood. So I shouted out, Mum, he's an evil little pig. Look at his face. You can see he's evil. Tell him off, Mum, tell him off. And Mum says to the man, is that you, Brian? You see, it was then I found out they were old friends from high school. And then they start talking about plasticine and Haribo's toenails. And then he said, goodness, your kid's really mucked up in the head. And Mum said, of course, you're telling me. So they start laughing. Meanwhile, I'm getting a bit cross, so I peel off my clothes. I mean, my gorilla outfit. And I said, right, I am stopping this conversation. They were both looking at me. Now, if you two don't behave, your breathing rights will be suspended. Then, suddenly, my dad came running out the front door. All his clothes were gone. There was thick cooking oil on his face and he screamed, quick, get out of here. Our home is going to burn down. And we all said, look, we know that, you cheeky gobhound. Then I said, why don't we stop the moaning and start thinking about poking a great big hole in my goldfish's head? Who wants to do it? So my dad said, yeah, me. Mum said, okay. So Brian starts to laugh. All right, he said, let me join in. So I said, wonderful. And then we went to 10 Downing Street. Who do you think was the first person we happened to meet? Lollipop Lady was walking home with my goldfish in her mouth. Eat that goldfish, we all yelled out. So Lollipop Lady turned red and bobs her head up and down. I think I'll make her teeth cut into the flesh. So I shoved my knuckles into her face really hard and fast. Trouble was, her face was so fat it just wouldn't squash fast enough to kill my goldfish. Meanwhile, my dad tried to talk to her. Hey, little Lollipop Lady, you can't run away. And I'm still fiddling with her face. Nice. There's my mum, she's dancing very, very quietly down the street. Said my mum to Lollipop Lady, if you don't eat that goldfish, there'll be no strawberry ice cream. After, all I'm asking you to do is to eat one goldfish. I don't have to put up with you behaving like Michael. Then, suddenly, I hear a funny voice going, never let me see you doing that again. And it's my goldfish poking his head out just where I can see him. So I slam my hand into the mouth faster than a tomato on drugs. It was then Lollipop Lady spits a goldfish all over the street. She turns to us and she goes, watch out everybody, the goldfish tastes awful. She looked like she had never tasted anything quite so horrible in all her life. Meanwhile, my dad says, yeah, that's right, yeah, no. And everything was lovely once again. Wonderful. And then we went home.